Hey everybody, my name is Brandon Jones. I'm the editor-in-chief of GameTrailers.com. I'm joined by Mr. Kyle Bossman.
Hi everybody.
Mr. Daniel Bloodworth.
Hello.
We watch trailers, we talk about them. We're going to let's watch a trailer. Some people do let's plays. We do let's watches because we're lazy. We just like to sit around and watch trailers about Snot.
I'm nervous about this one.
I mean, really nervous? Are you just playing up your nervousness for comedic effect here, Kyle? Or like,
I think there's no way.
are you going to be cringing?
Right now, I think there's no way this scores above a 5, just based off those 4 letters.
This trailer's for a game called Snot, and it's not like Snot Developer Diary number 2. This is the debut of Snot.
Yep.
Here we go.
Oh, what?
Okay. So there is that Snot or is that like a snail?
Oi, listen.
Hey, you Jackman.
All right. So this looks like
He's like a snail.
yeah. Is it iOS or like 3DS? Very grid based, kind of the way that they've done their art. Whoa, that's a lot of black.
Customize your snail.
Fire. Okay. This is inspired by Turbo.
I haven't said anything yet. I probably should.
I'm enamored.
This might have been the worst trailer I've ever picked for this.
Really?
He's just like a snail called Snot?
Yeah. Snail's called Snot.
He's throwing shells. It's way too zoomed in. You know, we kind of talked about that mortise on Zelda, but like, here's why you have a mortise, so you don't see every single pixel at a giant size.
Well, and you even have, like little bars.
Crazy boss fights.
What is-
that's
do
not
we
a
know what
crazy
this
boss
is
fight.
for?
What the heck?
I'm gonna say PC.
Yeah. No, I don't know what this is for. The molluscs?
molluscs.
That's a weird way to spell it. Whoa.
Ooh, here we go.
They finally got you.
Okay. There's a squid
The
flying through the
pixel
air.
art's just not. It's not that good. It's not that crisp. Maybe
Yeah,
just
it's
how
very low
rendered.
res. Number 1 rule of being a snail.
Don't get squished. Snot.
I'm reading that right. Join the Snot community. Snotgame.net.
So
Follow Snot the game.
I guess it is a PC game. Yeah. So you're a snail that has to collect shells. So does that make you a slug?
How
That's
long?
just pretending to be
you're
a snail?
Your number 1 rule of snails is don't get squashed.
Okay.
It's like 2.5 minutes, right?
Yeah,
that was,
maybe
that was
long.
a short trailer.
I gotta say, I kind of like it. I think they demonstrated their game well.
I think it was too long.
Sure.
The
way
cuts
too
were
long.
kind of awkward to me too. I think, in some of the titles too.
I also think, and this is less of a trailer thing, but a marketing thing. Your game's called Snot. Commit to that.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's no Booger Man going
get
on
what
here.
you're
This
saying.
is totally.
Call your game Snot, or don't call your game Snot. But don't call your game Snot and be like, no, it's about a snail. And they're like, but where's the? He doesn't even leave a trail on the floor. Like, I mean, am I the only person in the room that had a garbage pail kids in their head
Right.
when I loaded this up?
When I was saying there's no way the score is above a 5, I was just imagining something real gross and dumb. This isn't gross and dumb.
I will score it above a 5, but not very much higher than a 5. 5.8. Snot. It's not a good trailer.
So what makes it bad? What is not that you?
It's way too slow. It doesn't show the logo until the very end. It doesn't. There's like no text or any other kind of setup on why I should follow this game over any other game. It's like what? There's no. Yeah, it's just a bunch of gameplay. 5.8. I mean, it's just like fun gameplay cut with like one piece of music. But the sell here is that this is a generic game. Like that's what this trailer's telling me, is that like, hey, we made a generic game. It's like, all right, you should try to sell it for some. I don't know. You should try to sell it more than that. Calling your game Snot is one way to do it. You know, to try to get somebody to pick that out.
Yeah, I mean,
I picked it out. I
Because
looked
of the
at it.
name.
I looked at a list. I picked these trailers because I can't watch a trailer and then decide I want to watch it for the first time. I literally have to look at just the names, and the name Snot jumped out at me. And this trailer never, despite him jumping quite frequently, there's absolutely no part of me that would ever want to play this.
Yeah, I mean, the name choice. I mean, it's a weird thing to be. We're talking about the trailer, but we're talking about the name. But I feel like there's definitely something to that, to where, you know, you kind of have those things that, like, they sell a lot on the App Store just because they have a weird name and they, like, stand out against everything else. I think that's kind of what this is like. They don't have much of a character here other than, okay, he's a snail.
They have like a starry background that's like lousy, and it's like, is it lousy because you picked it, or is it lousy because you don't care?
What's lousy about it? So to me,
it has like a real like kind of Tim and Eric vibe to it, and it's like, is that?
Oh, I don't think so. I think I don't think intentional is what I mean when I say I don't think so. I think it's, to me, really, like, you think of like old PC games or like NES games. You ever play, what is that game? It's from Capcom, where your little adventures in Dreamland, you know?
Captain Nemo?
Captain Nemo. It reminds you a lot of Captain Nemo in a weird way. I think that, so this is your game, right? And like, we have to sell this. We got to sell our little 2D platformer. It looks like 16-bit style. I think that it does a lot of good things. The trailer moves with its music. As the music escalates, like, we had that, it gets silent and then huge boss fights, you know what I mean? And then it shows us your boss fights. They're working with what they got here, I think, is why I would give this an 8. I think it does a lot of things that you should do with a trailer. It shows your gameplay. It shows, it explains what your game is. And
You realize that every time you say 8 now, I'm not going to hear 8, I'm going to hear Snot. You're going to be like 7.8. I'm going to be like, not as good as Snot, huh?
Well, I would say go and look at what Snot did. You know, a lot of like having good trailers, you know, you're stuck with the game you got for your trailer. You can't, you know, like,
Nonsense.
Okay.
Nonsense. You young Padawan, that's like Trailers 101, man. Like, you can make your game anything you want it to be.
Sure.
You can make any kind of crazy game. We didn't even see, you scored the game higher than this that you saw no gameplay of. You have no idea how, what the heck is it called? Conflicts is played.
Yeah.
You have no idea what that game is. You just saw an awesome animation that some guy made, and you're like, oh, this concept, I'm totally sold on this.
Yeah,
and
it sells a concept.
There is no
right.
concept of Snot. He's nothing. He's I could make a better looking snail, and I'm horrible I'm not an aspiring artist, you know? Like, it just is not, again, it's just the whole, it's like, why take this much time if the game's just like a whatever thing we made in a couple months, done.
All right, Brandon, you talked me down. I'll give it a 7.5.
down.
I'll give it a 7.5. I still think it does a lot of good things that trailers should do.
And I thank you for having it. That's why you're here. That's why you're in that chair, because you have that opinion, Kyle. Mr. Bloodworth, let's talk about Snot for 5 more minutes.
Oh my gosh. Like, it has some ambitions to have some character, but it's just kind of, it's falling short of the mark. Like, I feel like this to me is a really good, like, student game. Like, this is a good, like, first or second game to make. Like, you're getting your feet wet and you want to do something, but it's like not really quite there. Like, even as like an indie game, I don't know how big these guys are or anything. So, and then for the trailer, it kind of, yeah, the name choice and all that stuff. So, yeah, I'm definitely on the lower end. I'd say probably in like a 5.5 for this one, and you know, it's got some ideas in there, but it's not. It just doesn't feel like there's enough character for me to, like, you know, want to, like, really just jump in and check it out. And also the gameplay feels like it's kind of slow to me as well. I think that's what comes across. Is like, it feels like kind of a slow, clunky kind of game to where, I mean, you're a snail. you're a snail. How
that's
responsive
part of
can
that's
you be?
part of being a snail. Yeah.
It's also been a slow conversation. We've also looped this trailer like 20 times.
Okay, moving on. We're locked in.
So those are the interesting trailers that I wanted to talk about in depth this week, but we can also talk about Among the Sleep, where you're a small child wandering out into the forest. Have either of you played this game? This
I've
trailer?
heard Ian or somebody talk about it.
Trailer's got a nice hook. It's a good hook. You look
Yeah.
down at the end and you're in pajamas. Kids, you know, it's like, and they had the titles before, which I know you hate, Blood, but again, it's like every now and then one of those can really hook you, and when someone was like, you know, I don't even remember specifically the word, but it was like heartbreaking, I think, that they said. So you put the word heartbreaking into a trailer, and then you show me a kid wandering out alone into the forest, and it's like...
It's a good example of how to use your quotes, your pull quotes, because it's not conflicting with things you're seeing in the background. Basically, you're seeing backgrounds. You're seeing things that aren't going to distract you from the words, and the words aren't going to distract you from that. It's a background, which is a good thing to do with that, instead of huge action behind your words.
Speaking of huge action,
Sure.
Call of Duty Advanced Warfare got its live-action trailer that they always get. Not one of my favorites, I'll be honest. That was a little...
What I liked about it, though, is it's a live-action trailer, that shows you all of these new gameplay moments.
You like that about it? You like that they're using live action to show you what you're going to do in the game?
It's actually none of that is what you do in the game. The abilities you use in the game.
Right.
Like, those scenarios, I was like, where is he? I don't even know what level.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not like the specific levels, but you are like, it's like, okay, you can do this and you can do that, and and so it's interesting to kind of have, have those gameplay elements thrown in there. So, okay, this is what's new. And it's not just like super extreme, you'll never be able to do this. It's like these are things that you actually do in the game.
I get that side. I don't know. It's just like, ooh, hot girl. Wait, dude, that's a goat. Come on, let's go. Like that just
right.
That just does not
the comic
work
relief didn't work for you.
No.
I love that one sour joke just really sets it off for you.
It really does.
Just disrupts the whole thing.
I when this went on the site and Jamie picked the goat for the thumbnail. That's so freaking awesome. That's the
pretty cool,
that's the
Jamie.
one
It's
shot
always
we
good to
have
see-
to represent.
It's always
this.
good to see. Like, if you guys notice those thumbs, those are picked by a very select few personalities here at GameTrailers, and they do a good job. It's always like, yep, that's the one. But I mean, it's exciting. I mean, they put a lot of work into that, and Taylor Kitsch did a good job of. It's always fun. I want to be in a Call of Duty trailer. That'd be fun. Dying Light had the recruitment trailer that we talked about. The joke that was good for 15 seconds, and then.
So I love this trailer.
Oh no,
I
Kyle.
really, really like it. I
Do
think
you like
it's-
the bad makeup? Which I think that's.
Oh, you can
intentional.
kind of
The
like
guys-
see its
the guy-
rubberiness.
Yeah, because you get a 360 view of this guy's makeup the
Yeah.
whole time. It's clearly something they put like a little bit of effort into, and they were like, "Ah, we're finished."
What I really like about it is how like on top of what a normal developer diary is. And so they're kind of mocking developer diaries in doing this. They're just like, well, we couldn't have done it without Steve. And then like you see, they're kind of making fun of it. Also, gosh, I love the music, and I love at
You
the
love
end.
the music. Eesh.
Whoa, yeah, music's really good. And music's also, it's like the perfect note. It's a perfect note for what these normally are. It also serves a purpose of showing us their personalities, which developer diaries should, but it's also, running with this joke. And at the end, when the two, they sit next to each other, I think the guy's name is Steve, the zombie's name, their numbers on their jerseys are the release date for the game. Like, things like that.
Oh, I didn't
That's
even
so
catch
clever
that. I
and
knew
cute.
there was something going on there, but I didn't catch it.
Yeah, I freaking love this trailer. It would have been my pick for trailer of the week
It can be.
if it weren't for some other game that, obviously is.
Oh.
That one I think is just mostly just overly long. I think they could have edited out a lot of it and kept it to the best moments, and it would have worked better. Because as much as you want to make fun of developer diaries, you don't want to make fun of how long they go on and on and on.
I thought a little bit shorter, a little less focus on that joke, maybe focus on the game a little bit more, so when the joke comes back, it hits really well, especially with the seriousness. And like, I felt they kind of lost that seriousness, because that joke for me, it works the best the more serious you are. Like, if I look into their eyes, all these developers who aren't actors, who aren't improv comedians, and they can commit to this joke, like, with heart, body, and soul. Like,
Yeah, well, at the point where they like had him programming and stuff, I'm like, no, come on, yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
lost me.
get back to actually focusing on, I didn't know that about the game. Oh, okay, yeah, that's a zombie joke. Awesome, though, that you really liked it, Kyle. You really had some standout moments in this episode, Kyle. I really appreciate that. Man, we should talk about Far Cry 4 more than we have previously, but they did a good story trailer. I actually kind of...
Really?
Yeah, I dug it just because I like Pagan and I like the setup. I like the scene where they're at the table and he's like, okay, I finally wanted to meet with you.
What I got out of that story trailer is that I'm not going to care about that story.
Whoa, wait, why?
Snap.
It's like there are going to be some big set piece moments and the like, but it's like they started like talking about the story. It's like, hey, they're gonna blow some stuff up. Here's the tiger again. It's like they just forget it.
Good thing they're not scoring these. These would be all over the place. What about the Halo Master Chief Collection? Did that get you excited for the launch?
I thought that was a good for something that has so much in it. Like, you're talking about, like, the minute and a half you have to get to people. Like, yeah, it's like, yeah, remember this? Hey, remember this? Remember this? And then, out.
I thought that was, like, the kitchen sink trailer, which is always, like, the obvious approach with a launch trailer, but I enjoyed it for that. I thought the music was picked well. The moments were picked well. Yeah, it's like, you just always want to pump people up, and sometimes it feels artificial. In that time, I was like, oh, well, I'm actually, Bungie, I'm or 343, excuse me, but, like, I'm actually being uplifted by this trailer. And I don't see myself putting a lot of time back into Halo, as much as I love it. Not because it isn't worth the time, but because I don't have the time. And of course, Blizzard killed it this week, but we'll be getting to that next week. trailer of the week, my of course would be Grand Theft Auto 5.
Me as well.
Trailer of
Yeah.
the month, man.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Oh wow.
A sweep.
Whoa! Since we enacted our new trailer of the week policy, the undisputed winner, which is tough because we had some really good. Boy, that Overwatch trailer is probably gonna be trailer of the week next week.
Yeah.
That was really fantastic, and not to mention a pretty darn good CG trailer for StarCraft. That's all I've seen come out of BlizzCon so far.
Also,
there's
Nintendo
like
put
20
out some good
videos.
trailers this week.
Nintendo had again. That's how good of trailers we got this week. That
Yeah.
like the Duck Hunt reveals, like, it's fine.
Yep.
Cool Duck Hunt, right on.
And Splatoon, I thought had a good trailer too.
All right, I'll mention.
Yeah, for a
Splatoon.
gameplay trailer, and the Toad one was really good. Yeah.
Didn't talk about Nintendo enough. Thanks, Kyle.
Sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Well, that was an undisputed trailer of the week, folks. We got through our Snot Let's Watch all under time. Thank you so much, Kyle. Thank you so much, Daniel. Thank you guys for watching. Again, we are a two-parter, so you can catch, if you just stumble upon the second part, you can go back and watch the first one. And we're here every Sunday talking about trailers, so we'll see you next week.